Welcome back to Alone With You. Let's go process our findings from the agrodomes. Okay, all the data you collected today is synced and ready to be worked on. You did well out there. Since you went to the agrodomes, you'll be able to visit Miss in the Holosim chamber tonight. I forgot her first name. Was it Leslie? Should I just try to pronounce it? Okay, let's just try. Baradwaj? I don't know if that's right, but it sounds okay. Baradwaj. You can retire to your quarters when you're ready. I'll call for you when the Holosim chamber is available. That's the mess hall, right? Yeah, actually, let's check out the mess hall. I think there's supposed to be like a thing that shows you sort of your progress, right? Or not? I thought there was. I can't seem to examine it, though. It's time, Nella. Holosim chamber is ready for you now. Just head in when you're ready. Have a good evening. Thanks. Okay, so what do I have to remember about this person that I'm going to speak with? Miss Baradwaj? Corky. I think that's it. Corky. Wait, what? Oh, right, it's down. Oh, hello there. It's nice to finally get to meet you. I'm aware of your trip today, at least partly. How did the mission go? It was okay. Just okay? I mean, I hope you got what you needed. If what the AI said was true, you'll need everything you can get. I've just been here, tending my garden. It's odd that now that I'm, well, this, I guess, that I finally get to do what I love. Back in the agrodomes, we were under a lot of pressure. Managing the staff and the operation was so important, but if I'm being honest, it was always the plants that I loved. The process of it, the puzzle of it all, you know? Tell me more. Well, you know, the others were obsessed with radios or drones or ships. With me, it's always been about plants. When I was little, my family had a small farm, one of the few that were left. By then, agriculture was almost entirely automated. It was illegal to sell the crops we produced. Too much regulation, too many companies controlling our food. You probably remember that. So we were only able to feed ourselves, which was also technically illegal. Everything we grew was natural, or as close as we could get. But after my parents died, I couldn't afford to keep the farm, to fend off the legal challenges from the companies who claimed we were stealing patented seeds. And somehow, I found my way here. Hudson Cartier gave me my labs, gave me farmland, let me set up greenhouses. All of the rations we had here, those were all designed in my lab, tested in my fields. All I ever wanted was to work with plants. Do you know what I mean? I get you. Really? That's comforting, in a way. When you're the director of an operation like that, it's hard to find people who share your passions. When I signed up to come out here, I was thrilled with the idea of cultivating and nurturing an entire ecosystem. I mean, Hudson Cartier had a plan, of course. There are stages to terraforming, the ultimate one being really the creation of life. Just imagine it. This whole world, green, lush, vibrant, just like Earth used to be. The promise of that kept me going every day. All I ever wanted was to work with plants. You already said that. I guess I have to say how so. Well, it's like anything else. It's rewarding to be challenged, to break new ground. Plants are like that for me. Maybe it's different for you, but the thrill of seeing life grow between your hands, under your feet, it's magical for me. Especially since this facility is so cold otherwise. All these prefab halls, building block pieces, everything in its place. Plants, flowers, trees, you can only impose so much order on them, you know? They soften the edges, reduce the monotony. But now all I have left is this little garden. And it isn't even real. And I guess, nor am I. Oh, Nella. What are we going to do? It's okay we have a plan? Most of the time I forget that I'm just a stupid hologram, a simulation. But sometimes I remember. I remember and I can't think about anything else. Listen, let's change the subject. Otherwise I won't be able to calm down. You must have some questions, something you want to talk about. I can show her the dog photo. Alright, take a look at this corgi. Oh, that's Charlie, my old dog. Wherever did you find this? Boy, do I miss that old corgi. Poor Charlie. I don't know how long it's been. Before I committed to Hudson Cartier, and eventually to this, I had to give him up. He was the best. I tried to make him a working dog, but to be honest, he was kind of lazy. I wasn't great at training him. A working dog? How exactly? What kind of work can a corgi do? I'm sorry. Corgis are adorable, but I don't understand what kind of work they could possibly do. Charlie would sort of pretend to listen to me, but he always had his own agenda. I was a sucker for it. He was just too charming, that scruffy little guy. He's probably, well, gone by now. But the farmer who took him was great to him. I know. Good old Charlie. I'm so glad you brought this to me. It's nice to think about the old farm. It helps me focus. I think I can work even harder on these fixes for your ship now. Let's talk about your staff. Yeah, okay. We can talk about them. Although I warn you, I'm better with plants than I am with people. I think one of the other reasons I love working with plants so much is that they're systems I can understand. People are different. The lab work, farming, it's all complicated, and often hard to predict, but people are just more so. Being the chief at the domes reminded me of that. If I'm being honest, I would have preferred to be in the labs all day, not managing people. I'm not sure I was the best of it. Well, I know I wasn't, although I can't quite remember why. I guess the AI's version of me isn't as complete as it should be. I do remember, however, Ashley. She was the chief genetics researcher. We didn't always see eye to eye. You know, just before the Rift event, I recall us having quite a heated argument. She wanted to push ahead with a new strain of tuber, and I disagreed. Let's talk about the domes. Sure. I can tell you more about the agro domes. Before everything went askew, it was quite the place. You probably only saw the main agricultural dome. That was where all the production took place. It was really something else. Prior to coming here, We had researched for a decade the kinds of plants we should cultivate. We went through so many trials for suitability, nutrition, efficiency. We couldn't bring meat or animals. They were just too costly and difficult to manage. But the food processors could take plant parts and create so much with them. That technology was headed up by a team that Pierre appointed. My job was to find the right plants, the ones that could be used for hundreds of different things. Yeah, so this is what I was wondering about. It sounds like, yeah, they really didn't eat the things that the plants grew directly. They're just processed into other things. We actually lost more seeds than we expected during space travel here, so in a way, we started behind schedule. Finally, I was able to farm for real, not just to feed myself, but to supply an entire system. I think my parents would have loved it. I can't thank you enough for coming to visit. It does get lonely in here, even if it is beautiful. I hope you'll come back again sometime. You bet? That would be great. That helps to talk about these things, go over old details. It'll keep me sharp so I can help you with your ship. I'm gonna go back to my garden now, I suppose. Good luck, Nella. I hope to see you again soon. Now, I said I would come back and talk to the first person I talked with. I forgot her name, sorry, but can I go back right now, or is that something that I'm going to get to do later? Looks like later. Alright, back to sleep. Good morning once again. The holograms seem very motivated. Did you have an enjoyable time last night? Yeah, I didn't even sleep, I just partied until the morning. You bet? Excellent. Our decision to augment our efforts with the holograms is proving to be the right one. This is great news. As long as they feel inspired to aid you, I believe they will excel in their work. Please keep this in mind. There are 2 more areas you can explore to further our goal. Come see me in the core again and you can begin your day. It's weird. I get this odd feeling. I don't know if it's the AI itself that's kind of pushing me to do this or just like the game in general, but I get the feeling the game or the AI is kind of pushing me towards seeing these people and talking with the holograms as if they're just goals. You know, like I have to talk with them and I have to kind of make them happy so that they can help me. But that's not why I'm talking with them. I'm talking with them because I want to, and I find them interesting, and I want to know more about them and the facility. Still 2 more areas. Yep. So we've got the creepy place that I was sort of warned away from, and then the other place. I think the mines were the other place, the power generation. Let's see. Yeah, Colony B, so that was the place that apparently was kind of scary. And yep, the caves was power generation, which has Jean. Let's go there. Alright, let's race to the front. Come on! Yes, 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 yes! I made it! I think. Though the planet's landscape is hostile, its core is rich with minerals and a special kind of crystal that we can process into fuel. Hudson Cartier did decades of research to understand this crystal, and how to exploit it for the energy needs of the colony. I'm not sure why your colleagues chose to call this facility the Caves, but it contains the administration offices and leads to the mining operation. After the Rift event, the Caves have been offline. I need you to investigate and find if there is anything left to process. This administration building is where Mr. Lumumba and his staff worked. So far, it seems surprisingly intact. Before we do anything else, let's check out Mr. Lumumba's office. It should be the door to your right. The lobby was decorated with plants grown in the agrodomes. They would have looked beautiful in that grand space. So you want me to go right, huh? What if I go left? Okay, fine, I'll go right. Let's check out Mr. Lumumba's terminal. Maybe there will be some answers there. Whoa, did something just fall from the ceiling? That doesn't look good. Well, I hope the ceiling doesn't cave in and crush me. The display doesn't appear to be on. Maybe there's a way to power it back up. Terminal. Am I crazy, or is my character really short, or is this terminal just like really, really tall? I mean, look, I can just barely see above it. And if I come over here, it looks like I'm actually shorter than the table, it looks like, from here. That is very strange. I don't know, maybe Mr. Lumumba was just very, very big, as in literally a giant. We need access to this terminal, but appears to need facial recognition to unlock it. The system isn't completely accurate. Maybe there's a way to get around it. Row upon row of technical books regarding mining. The shelf is covered in mold and dirt from the damaged ceiling. I think that's it for this room. Alright, well maybe we can find like a picture of Mr. Lumumba. This is the command center for the mining facility. All the actual mining was done by drones. It's much safer that way. Operations staff managed the drones in the mine from here. They tracked blasting, sorting, delivery, everything. There isn't much trace of the staff here, though. That's odd. I don't have records of an evacuation. Those big displays showed the staff the real-time movements of drones, plus general conditions and other data. Unfortunately, that monitor has been damaged. Seems to be stuck in some kind of error loop. A warning keeps flashing on the screen, ventilation failure. That lounge area appears surprisingly opulent, even amongst all the dust and debris. Those synthetic leather chairs are not cheap. Modern-day mining operations seem much more comfortable compared to the mines of 100 years ago. Ooh! Photo of Jean Lumumba. There's a low-power photo frame device on the counter. It's currently flashing a photo of Manager Lumumba, who's smiling. The frame gives it a convincing 3D effect. Convenient. The count of all the drones that were deployed to the mine, their statuses all read offline. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing powered up. Contains all the usual reports and statistics on the mine's operation. There is, however, a voice conversation between Mr. Lumumba and Director Pierre Tong. I'll give you the details. Jean, don't you see what's happening out there? Pierre, I see just fine. I'm handling it. Jean, damn it, Pierre, just admit we're screwed. The rift event has doomed us all. Pierre, it's not like that. AF4B/3B has every distress signal we've got firing back home. We're going to be fine. Jean, fine? Colony B is a smoking ruin. Everyone's blaming you, you know. Our genius leader completely out of his depth. Pierre, we're going to be fine. We're prepared for this. I'm prepared for this. Those idiots are just freaking out. Jean, because you're not leading them. Because... oh, damn it. Pierre, Jean, what is it? Or Jean. I don't really know how that's pronounced, to be honest. I know it's not John. I think it's like Jean. Jean, I have to go. Someone is trapped down in the mines. I have to go. Pierre, Jean, you can't go down there. Don't be an idiot. The audio file cuts off there. That's all I can extract from the terminal. Sounds like there's a sudden collapse that just kind of killed everybody before an evacuation could be ordered, perhaps? Alright, this is on now. That monitor shows a real-time overview of what's going on in the mines. The blue indicator is where you are right now. Those red areas, though, those indicate humans who shouldn't be in the mines during operation. Wait, like living humans? Or just bodies? They could indicate survivors I couldn't account for. You need to get down there and verify if anyone is still alive. Sorting facility. What a sight. That room has been completely demolished. You can head down to the mines or take a look at the equipment up here. Up there, rather. Is this the mines? Yeah, that's the crushing chamber. You can still see some of the special drones attached to the pillars up there. They maneuver around to sort the various crystals within the mining aggregate and package them up in safety containers. Looks like that's it. Alright, let's go to the crushing chamber. I'm reading very dirty air down there. Looks like part of the mine suffered a cave-in. It must be very stifling in there. There are chips and circuits from one of the excavation drones on the mine floor. They've been stripped of all their wiring. Someone was scavenging parts for something. Blast marks? Based on those marks and the debris around them, I guessed someone used an explosive to remove the rubble that used to be there. With all the cave-ins caused by the seismic activity, it was likely a last resort to escape. Refugee station inaccessible. The doors are partially open, but they don't budge. Perhaps you can find a way to force them open. It's a high-powered crushing device that breaks down the mining aggregate from the lower chambers. Once the pieces are small and light enough, they get shipped up to the sorted chamber on that conveyor. The mining drone has been crushed by falling debris. They will never mine again. Datapad? Yeah, seemed to have scanned a portable data log. Must have got accidentally picked up with the mining aggregate. Apparently belonged to Jean Lumumba. It appears somewhat damaged, but I'm able to pull a fragment from the original audio. Here it is, as best as I can access it. This is Jean Lumumba, resource manager. I tried to help out. They got stuck down here. The two of them. Viktorov and Fisher. As much as I hate to admit it, maybe Pierre was right. This place might be where I die. That's where this log ends. Seems to be the first part of a series of recordings. Sounds like he perhaps tried some crafty things to try to get out. Aggregate chamber. That's where the excavation drones brought the blasted aggregate and loaded it in automated carts. The air is even fouler down there. Another crushed one. Looks like it failed when exposed to more dirt than it was designed for. It was definitely overworked. That's a collection of motor function parts from an excavation drone. Or at least the basics. Many small parts have been removed. Looks like some safety caps were left down there when people left. Oh, so here I can get to the refugee station. Or I can descend to the blasting chamber. Let's check out the station first. Oh. Is that Jean's body? Pocket knife. That scratched up antique looks to be a heavily modified consumer-grade pocket knife. It could probably be used to pry something open. Oh! Pry open the door? With a pocket knife? To the other refugee station? It said I could use something to pry it open, but this seems awfully small. I was thinking more like a crowbar or something. I believe it belonged to Mr. Lumumba. Perhaps you should mention it to him in the Holosim chamber this evening. Okay. Oh no, that's not Lumumba. Remains of excavation supervisor Carlotta Viktorov are surprisingly well preserved. She must have sealed herself in that refugee chamber. She's holding on to some crude notes, apparently scrawled on the backs of pages to an emergency manual. The notes read like some kind of last statement. Escape ship needed energy. Came to get my secret stash of processed stuff. Cave-ins forced me in here. Without ventilation, air is finite. Fisher tried to rat me out. Took care of it. Don't want to die in this tomb, but at least this whole nightmare will be over. That's all they managed to write, it seems. Without a clear air supply, I'm afraid she wouldn't have lasted long down there. Well, since I'm just right here, I guess I'll go back and pry open the door. Good work. Using the knife to pry open the doors was a smart solution. Thanks. There's an empty emergency kit. It's been completely depleted of both rations and medical supplies. Another data log. Third in a series. I think the first one I heard was the first in the series, so this is kind of skipping a part, but let's go with it. Quakes have stopped, and this coffin has held steady. No, not a coffin. I'm getting out of here. Pierre, you idiot. If you find this, if I don't make it out, I want you to know I'm not giving up. Energy, fuel, that's my specialty. And I've got an idea to help get somebody off this rock at least. Somebody off this rock. So they're thinking if they couldn't save themselves, they could help someone else, but how? The rest of the log is just background noise, and then it ends. It seems to be the last part of this particular recording. These are parts from one of the colony's drones, specifically energy core casings. The cores themselves are missing. You're in one of the digging chambers, or at least one that didn't completely collapse. Your signal is weak. Please be careful. It appears someone removed many of that drone's components. Judging by its condition, it was mercifully inoperable by that point. Another data log. Second in the series, okay. I'm here in the mining caves. I have been for some time. Cave-ins have made return impossible. Viktorov. Her eyes, so afraid, so manic. That fear reminded me to keep going. I'm not giving up. You fool, Pierre. Maybe your pig-headedness is exactly what I need right now. This data file suggests that Mr. Lumumba attempted to escape. I think he probably did. But you still need to confirm what happened down there with the two colonists. Please keep searching. Yeah, it seems like he probably managed to clear the debris from the entrance. I mean, I got inside, so I'm sure he could have gotten out, right? But where could he have gone? This drone has been heavily excavated for parts and pieces. It looks so helpless down there. It looks so helpless there, down in an awful place. The AI seems to be really, really disturbed by all the drones. I mean, the drones weren't like sentient or something, were they? Weren't they just worker drones? I hope that's all they were. That is geochemist Maya Fisher. It looks like her suit was compromised. It's got several deep slashes throughout. She was likely exposed to the toxic air too long. The scan revealed an item in her pocket. A replicated ring and a small box. It looks like a simple wedding band. It's of no use to us, but I find it curious. Well, it seems excavation supervisor Viktorov and geochemist Fisher both met their ends down there. What a lonely place to die. Looks like we discovered as much as you're going to down there. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like there's any fuel left for us to process. And now we're left with the mystery of what happened to Mr. Lumumba. But I don't want you hanging around in those mines any longer. There was something entirely unwholesome about those caves. There was a moment when I felt my communication link was getting weak. I must admit, I was worried. I didn't want you to lose focus or panic while you were down there, so I didn't say anything. In any case, you did great. Come back to base and I'll process what you found today and you can relax. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. That was a long day, wasn't it? Come see me right away so we can get your mission scans synced and sorted. Alright, I think that's a good place to end this episode. So, I hope you've enjoyed so far, and when I return I'm going to go review the mission and go talk with another AI.